Lesson 3. The Music Box. Part 1. Catherine watched as her grandfather picked up the music box from the mantelpiece and held it to the light of the window. He took his handkerchief in one hand and carefully wiped the dust off each side. It was a wooden music box, and each side was carved with pictures of flowers. When he finished dusting, Catherine's grandfather slowly opened the lid. Out of the music box came sweet, chiming music. Catherine didn't recognize the tune, but it was beautiful. They listened for a while, enjoying the soothing music. Then, her grandfather gently shut the box. Leaning on his cane, he hobbled over to his rocking chair and sat down with a sigh. "Now this music box," he said, "has a wonderful story attached to it." Catherine took her place in the comfortable armchair beside him. She watched him lean back in his chair and sip his steaming tea as he prepared to tell the story about his treasure. Catherine's grandfather reopened the lid of the music box and let it play its sweet music as he told his story. "This is the story of your great-great-great-great-grandfather Thomas," began Catherine's grandfather. "It was he who made this. He earned a living selling music boxes. He was a craftsman and an artist. He made each of his music boxes with exquisite care. Each one was special. One day, a rich nobleman came to Thomas's shop. The nobleman wanted a music box to give his wife for her birthday. He asked Thomas to make the most beautiful music box he could. The nobleman even gave Thomas the music he wanted it to play. It was his wife's favorite tune. The nobleman promised to pay an enormous amount for it, so Thomas got to work straight away. Thomas spent months working on the music box. He chose the finest board of oak he could find and cut it precisely into the pieces he required. He took his time carving every detail of the flowers on the sides so they were perfect. He worked for hours until he got the machinery inside to play the sweetest sound ever heard. When Thomas finished, he himself was amazed at how magical it was. He had put his heart into this music box. When he gazed at the carvings, they seemed to come alive. It appeared as if the flowers were reaching for the sun. Each time he opened the lid, the beautiful music poured out like a silver waterfall. Everyone who heard the music was immediately entranced by its sound. When the time came to give up the music box, Thomas felt he would be giving away his heart. That music box was his life. It had been his life for almost a year, but countering that was his need for money. There was not a great demand for music boxes, no matter how well they were made. He had spent the past months making this one and had not had time to make any others. Eventually, he resolved that, if it came down to a choice between his heart and money, he would choose his heart and find some other way to survive. Then he thought of the nobleman who was waiting for his music box. The nobleman who obviously loved his wife very much to plan such a gift for her. Thomas had promised him that he would make him the best music box he could, and he had. Thomas couldn't disappoint him.